today's live session. We are here with our beautiful audience and myself, Jon Binnie. We're here to provide live quantum energy healing, reading, protection, and clearing. So excited to join you all on that magical journey. And apologies for the short delay in getting started today. I had to flip from my laptop to my phone, so hopefully this is all working just fine. Let me know in the comments if you're able to hear me okay. Okay, so we shall, loud and clear, fantastic. And let me say hello to those of you in the chat. So far we have Lynn, Viviane, Ray of Thought 24, Teresa, and Patsy. Hello, hello, hello. Thank you for coming along. Excited that you're all here. And it's and Laurie, hello. And it's an important day today, right? There's something happening outside in the real world, and that is the summer solstice. So happy summer solstice to everyone. Really excited about the changes that it'll bring through our lives, and a real celebration of the sun. So excited to see what comes through today. So to kick us off today, I'd like to start by getting us into, and hello to Paisley, let's get ourselves set up into a safe space. And it won't be quite as long as before. I think last session we did about 20-30 minutes of a meditation, so we'll make it a bit shorter today, and it'll give more time for the quantum healings and clearings and readings. So if you have a request, and you may notice that Viviane is straight in there right at the beginning, just before we started, with all caps, asking for a healing/clearing. And you can discern like which one you want. You could have a healing alone, a clearing alone, or a reading alone, or all together. You get to mix and match, so you get to choose. So yeah, feel free to do that as I'm getting started. So let's get a safe space set up. So when you're ready, please join me in taking 3 deep breaths in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out through the mouth what no longer serves our highest good, nice and loud. Breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any stress, anxiety, fear, or shame of the day. And breathe in through the nose, nice and deep. And breathe out any remaining low vibration, emotion, or energy. And continue to breathe deeply and calmly. And from the divine spark in the center of our hearts, we extend a light cord up through the top of our heads, up through the sky and through the stars, going higher and higher through the dimensions, until we reach the highest dimension of the source of love of this universe. And there, connecting our light cords into source. Remain connected into source and extend our light cords down through the stars and through the sky, back down to the top of our heads and into our hearts once more. And now from the center of our hearts, this time extend a light cord down through the root of our spine, all the way down through the layers of the planet, going deeper and deeper until we reach the very core, Mother Earth. And there, connecting our light cords into Mother Gaia's crystalline heart. And we send Mother Gaia, at this magical time, all our love. And she sends her love back to all of us. Remain connected to Gaia's heart and extend our light cords up through the layers of the planet, through the root of our spine and into our hearts once more. And now, expand out that golden light from the center of your heart to surround each of us individually. About 2 meters out from the center of our hearts, above, below, to the sides, in front and behind. And we set the intention that only energies and entities with our permission with our highest good love and compassion, can see us, access us, or exist within this space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. And into our golden bubbles, we invite in our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia, for our guidance, clearing, healing, protection, self-love, and intuition. And through space and time, I create a golden bubble around all of us that are in the live stream and in the replay at this time, through space and time, through every dimension of us, setting the intention that only energies and entities with our permission, our highest good love and compassion, can see us, access us, or exist within this space or within us, and that all other energies and entities must leave us immediately. We invite in our guides, our higher selves, Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Source, and Gaia, our ancestors. And on this day of the solstice in the summer, we celebrate the sun and we celebrate this change in season. We celebrate each dawn and each sunset over this 3-day period as we step into these new versions of ourselves each day with a new opportunity for us to rise up in our dreams, in our missions, in our heart-centered, heart-aligned paths, in the actions in each day, no matter how small, that feel right in our hearts. And we set the intention today to provide healings, clearings, and readings for those that request it in the safety of this space. And that whoever receive these along with any messages that will help them the most at this time. And that after today's session, they're able to get plenty of rest, drink plenty of water, and to be able to smoothly integrate what takes place in today's live stream. Just coming back to earth. Oh, that was lovely. And thank you for your really lovely comments and requests. And look at all those beautiful emojis in the chat. Thank you as we're getting started. And I'd also like to take a moment just to reflect on this last week. It's been truly magical. And hello to those that have joined whilst I was setting up the safe space. Hello to Mr. Floyd, Alison Watt, hello. And I think I said hello to Laurie previously. Millie, hello. Crimson, hello. And yeah, please do put in the chat in caps if you've requested, so I don't miss you. I'll read slowly, but the more of these I do, the harder I find it to read comments. So let's see how that goes. And yeah, to reflect on this last week. So I do this work, right? This is remotely doing quantum energy healings and clearings. Just today, I was very blessed to do one in person, and I did it just outside of the city of Edinburgh in a beautiful Dalkeith Country Park, which is a really beautiful place. And it's amazing. Like once you get into these sessions and start going through past life healing and chakra scans and energy healing, that it's like the rest of the world outside of you disappears. And it's funny how often as a musician and like YouTuber, I worry about background sounds, and none of that's an issue, especially whether you're doing it outside or in this case, we were doing it, doing the session in my camper van, but it really doesn't matter where you do these, which is really lovely. And also a special shout out to those that took part, and you know who you are, who took part in my first psychic reflexology sessions, and they were just incredible. I did those on Monday, and so reflexology, foot massage, combined with like quantum energy healing and the ability to talk to your spirit guides and connect with any past lives or anything in this life that needs healing. And just a really incredible mix. I really loved it. There's such powerful messages came through and such incredible accuracy, because you get two modalities. You have quantum energy healing, where I can with my third eye see and feel someone's chakra, like for instance the solar plexus. And then also in reflexology, you can go and touch the reflex, that like the nerve ending that's connected all the way up into the solar plexus, and feel that. And so you can check with both treatments at the same time, like, are you making good progress? So both as a healer, and then also as a the beautiful clients testimonials. You saw one from Joy that I posted yesterday. That was just a real pleasure to share. So if you're interested in those, feel free to book me in. And importantly, the Higher Self Foundational Training is coming up. It starts on the 8th of July. So it's an 8-week course. It runs on Mondays at 8 p.m. UK time. There are 1-hour Zoom sessions. And if you're interested in doing all the stuff I'm about to do here, that's what I teach. So it's a whole combination of things, and takes you all the way from mindfulness meditation. So you don't need any prior experience, just a willingness and dedication to get started into meditation. And then by the end of it, you'll be able to talk to your spirit guides. We meet all active 8 of them as a class. And you also do things like quantum energy healing, clearing, protection, manifesting your dream life, and all the way through to some astral travel, and even speaking light language. So it's incredible to see the class. It'll be the 3rd time that I run it this year. Well, 4th if you include, there's an online version as well, where it's just like self-paced, and you do it all at your own pace. So yeah, that's, if you're interested, coming up on the 8th of July, and feel free to take a look at my website. You'll find it pretty easily there. And my website's jonbinnie.com. Okay, enough of this. Let's get started. So I will start with Viviane. So you asked, thank you for coming along, and thank you for joining early. That was really cool. It's lovely seeing you there waiting to get started. And I think, Viviane, I'm just checking you look active in the chat. So I'm assuming you're still here, and knowing you're still here. So I'm going to start with you. And you've asked for healing and clearing. So let me just connect in with your energy. Just asking Viviane's guide to step forwards. So not her guides this time, but Viviane's higher self. Step forwards, and your higher self is doing this with this motion, meaning like look at my body, like look at the human. So it's going to look at an energy scan. And from the highest dimension of source above, I bring down a column of golden light to just above Viviane's head, above your crown chakra, setting intention to clear, to heal, to energize and activate anything or any messages that will assist you at this time. And just bringing this gently into your crown chakra. In your crown chakras, there's I can almost hear the things that you're hearing, like you're hearing communication with your guides. But for you, it's kind of like jumbled up. It's like confused communication. Sometimes it's out of order. Sometimes out of sequence communication isn't just, a single sentence flowing with the words going in the wrong order. It's like they come in the wrong order over longer periods of time. And so I'm just scanning through your crown chakra to see why. I'm seeing like fragmentation. Yeah, there's like these little holes in your crown chakra. They're caused by sensitivity to, and I'd like to use it in the positive use of the word. Sensitivity is fantastic, especially when it comes to crown chakras. Your sensitivity is to the galactic energies that are flowing at the moment. So they come in through from source to the central sun, and then in through our sun. Not exclusively, they can come in and around the space that we're traveling through, and then they're like coming through you. It reminds me of when the astronauts first went into space and they saw these like particles hitting the backs of their eyelids through the shielding of the ship that they're in. And I'm just asking your higher self, and your higher self is just saying that you just need to create just a little bit stronger protection around you each day, like the golden bubble we set up at the start. And it's really quite simple. It's not extensive damage by any means. It's just enough to cause you like a challenge in some of your communication, and some of this is just built up over time. So I'm just going to bring in some healing energy into your crown chakra and help just heal and join all these little small holes so that you're one again. And just allowing that golden light of source flowing like water, filling in like a beautiful plasma, crystalline energy flowing in through the crown chakra and filling in these holes. Okay, so some of the messages you were getting were like, if there was a hole here, a message would come in and it would stop. It was like getting stuck on the hole. So that's now flowing freely now, like they're coming down to the bottom of the crown chakra. Okay, and I'm just glancing at the comments. Okay, so let's just take a look through the other chakras. So your third eye chakra has been straining a bit since the challenges with your crown chakra. Let's bring in some healing energy. And the throat chakra. And encouraging your throat chakra just to broaden and widen and speak your truth a bit more. Orania takamaria urantama. And encouraging the fire of your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, and your heart to come up into the throat chakra. Marayaru. Encouraging those flames to rise. Speak your truth. And in the heart, I feel like you're aware of some challenges that you face with your heart, and just acknowledging the journey of your heart, a healing heart. And I'm seeing you going through this beautiful new dawn, like there's this new dawn of you, like another level in your awakening. And I hope you don't mind me saying I'm excited that you've joined our Higher Self Foundational training. And it feels like this is very much like as you progress through that course, there's this like new dawn of your heart. And it's to do with your self-love, encouraging your self-love, then your boundaries. And you'll be seeing some more, like doing a bit more shadow work and seeing some of those areas, like there's light shining on those areas. So excited to see that continue to progress. And then the solar plexus, Yeah, just encouraging those flames in the sacral chakra, that fire of your passion to connect up through your chakras and then your root chakra. It looks good. Your root chakra is a little bit small, encouraging more grounding. And when you ground, like when you put your feet, if you can, on the ground, whether it's on the grass or mud or stone or whatever you can, then please connect in with Mother Gaia and just like ask for that energy to anything that doesn't serve your highest good, like set the intention for it to, and see it, like imagine it all flowing out of you into the ground, and never feel guilty. Mother Gaia really appreciates you sending in energy that doesn't serve your highest good. It's like compost to grow new flowers and new beautiful living things. So I hope that helps. Viviana, I'm just going to check in one last scan. Yeah, that's good. I feel like there is there's like practice that you're doing. There's great progress that you're making. So please keep that up, and celebrating you for your like investment in yourself and your self-care. Like that all helps. It helps exponentially. But yeah, let me know in the chat how that was and if that helped you. Okay, let me just grab my coffee. Okay. I'm sure that's a very loud gulp on my great microphone. So apologies. So who's next? Loud and clear. Good morning. Hi, loud and clear. Good morning. Patsy, please may I have a reading, Jon? Oh, thank you, Viviana. That's really cool. Yeah, really excited about the training. Looking forward to it. So happy that you're on the course. Okay, so Patsy's next. And sorry, Patsy, what were you looking for? A reading. Okay, a reading. I thought it was. It didn't feel like a no gulp here. Okay, let's do a reading for Patsy. So I'm just stepping back from Viviani. Thank you very much, dear soul. And then connecting in with Patsy. And just as I'm connecting in with you, Patsy, there's a very strong golden light coming down from the highest dimension of source above, and it's coming right down into your crown chakra, and it's a celebration. This is something that you've developed yourself, and it's a reward. Like your soul, not like your soul is bringing in this really beautiful light, and it's a celebration of you. I want to congratulate you on your practice, on your dedication, and on your growth. And this light feels that it is permanent, a permanent connection into source. Now, there is it's the activation of a gift that you have already been working on, and I feel like it's been your intention to be able to connect more deeply and to be able to receive messages more clearly, to be able to activate the rest of your body and your abilities clearly, and also to help you. It's like you're calling in this ability to help you through challenging times. And I would say that, almost without exception, this ability to have a strong, permanent connection into source is a real incredible gift and ability. But what I do feel is that you're quite new to it in this human form, it's maybe not the first time you've done it in this lifetime, but it's the first time in this present moment with your current capabilities and Earth's ascension and frequency and everything else that's going on in your life. And I'm just asking, because I'm being drawn to like, what's the practical advice that we can give Patsy to assist you? So the first big step is being aware of this ability that you have. And then the second is that it's very, very powerful. So it means that, you know, you've seen me do it at least twice already, where I set up the safe space at the start with, and I connected into source. You wouldn't need to do that other than you wouldn't need to reach all the way up. You would just need to shift your focus. And I see like looking up with your eyes, like looking up and with your third eye up to just above your crown chakra, and then connecting to that source energy that's already connected into you. So you're like just bringing your awareness into this light, into your crown. And then you're allowing yourself to just, it's like you're turning a tap on. You're just allowing that then to flow through your body. And I can hear you saying it like in your own voice. Like I can hear you saying, I activate source energy, and you're turning on that tap and you're allowing it to flow all the way through you. There are many uses for this ability, and it's not just in your daily practice, you know, being able to, for instance, set up a safe space, scan through your chakras, clear yourself, connect into the infinite abundance of source. There is much more that it'll help you with, and it'll also help you amplify your abilities with your crown chakra. And I know this from what you shared after you were in my training course, was that you already have like strong abilities with your crown chakra to talk to your guides, and this is something that is being continually like it's an expansion you're going through, and that it continues to develop. And finally, like a key message is for you and your grounding exercises is to, whenever we go through these leveling ups, and just like I did like a year ago, never underestimate the amount of integration that you require. And if you saw my channeling from Sunday, from my guides, my guide Maya, who's an earth elemental spirit, she was saying that for us humans, for the amount of time and energy that we've been able to take on a new gift or ability. So let's say it took you 5 minutes to activate something, you would need 5 times that amount of effort. And often we're in the hours or days of activation, and then it takes us much longer to complete this. And so, yeah, keep that in mind. Perhaps if you've spent, 2 or 3 hours, consider that a day, and that you need 5 days practice with that ability to integrate it. And for you, with this gift of a permanent connection into source energy, keep focusing that light. Whenever you're connecting in your daily meditation, like allow that source light through the root of your spine and to ground strongly, just as strongly into earth. And that feels like your next big step forwards is that grounding into Mother Earth. So I hope that helps you. Thank you so much for requesting, Patsy. Okay, who is next? We have Teresa. And you've said, can I have a healing and clearing? Healing/clearing. And I'm just scanning down. Just let me know if you're in the chat. Oh, you're chatting away, so I'll take that. Okay, let's get started with Teresa. And just asking Teresa to step forward, send your guides. So before I go any further, for you, Teresa, there's a lot of protection around you at this time. And so I see you brought forwards to me. And then I see either side of you are four guides, either side. And that's really interesting because it feels like there's you've asked me to help, but outside of that there is a lot of like divine intervention looking after you. And oh, thank you, Betsy. That's really beautiful. And yes, definitely, like there's this roller coaster, right, as we go through activation, and then a dip as well. Yeah, and thank you for sharing that. The learning, integration, and adjusting. Yeah, absolutely. Holding space for you. Thank you, Betsy. So, yeah, for Teresa, let me just see. I'm going to ask if it's still possible for me to go ahead and do healing and clearing for you. I just want to make sure you're aware that there's this like kind of fortress around you at this moment of protection. And it's interesting, there's not full alignment between your higher self and your guides at this time. Interesting. So your higher self is like pointing like this to either side. Wow, I'm getting really strong, ringing in my ears. Okay, thank you for sharing, Teresa. Yeah, so there's four guides of you, like either side, and they are I describe it like a kind of warrior stance. They are standing by your side. They're incredibly loving and they're incredibly protective and incredibly supportive. And your higher self, just like your human, has asked me to do this healing and clearing, is not fully aligned with your guides. Your guides are saying, no, Jon, like you should not do this healing and clearing. And your higher self saying, I get to decide. It's your free will, not theirs. However, since there's like disagreement between them, it's not a good idea for me to do it in this setting. Probably not in a live stream, not when there's disagreement with your higher self and your guides. But what I will do is a reading where they allow me to give messages. I just don't want to step into within your boundaries energetically, where it's going to cause further aggravation between your guides and your higher self. And perhaps that's the reading that I can get from this situation. So I'd like to understand from Teresa's guides and her higher self, why is there such protection at this time that Teresa's okay with being shared on this live stream? And what can she do on her continued healing journey? And the first message is really strong and it's quite blunt. The message is to stop putting yourself into situations a bit like this one, where it's not always for your highest good. But how will Teresa know? How will Teresa know this, whether it's for our highest good or not? And it's about self-love and your boundaries, but primarily self-love. And when you're taking any action, and these actions are small, like I've just been drawn to, you can clearly see I'm a bit addicted to coffee, to see like even those small things where you're taking small decisions each day, they have a big effect on your life. And so, for example, if I take too many small sips of coffee, I'll become a bit too caffeinated and a bit kind of wired, and it's not great for me, especially when I'm doing this work. And for you, I'm seeing like just seeing you like taking small sips, like these small decisions in your day of what you consume, who you talk to, what you're consuming online, the energy that's coming into you. And this is the whenever your guides are trying to guide you, your higher self is and you are quite sassy with it. You're like pushing back and saying, but I can choose. And it's true, you can. Like you get to choose. That's the deal with the universe, right? It's a fundamental law that you have free will. And you're just being asked to just to slow down a little bit when you're making decisions, any decision, no matter how small in your life, and just open yourself a bit more to the messages from your guides. I'm just asking, it's like a tangible way you can do this. And they're saying, yeah, just place your hand on your heart. And this is your right hand. Usually I would say put your left hand on your heart, but it's your right hand to put on your heart. And you can put your left hand on your head. Now, sometimes it feels strange to do. Or if you're out in public, you might not want to look strange in front of other people, but you can just like touch your head once. And what you're doing is with the left hand is you're saying, I'm just receiving. I'd like to ask for guidance from my guides. And if you have a straightforward like yes or no question, like should I consume this chocolate bar? Yes or no. Just allow that answer to come into you, to come into your heart. And it's a beautiful practice. Like doing this each day will really help you throughout everything in your life. And your guides really now more than ever really want to help and be a part of your decision processes. And it's not that you're being babysat or that you're in any way giving away your free will. You always still get to choose. But building that strong connection will help your guides back off a little bit. And it'll also help you on your journey. So I hope this helps you, Teresa. Thank you for asking. Let me know in the comments if that resonates. And I'm just checking in to see how far we got. Hello from Allison. Allison says, can I have a healing and reading? It's a great question. And we're on Thursday, and I last saw you Monday, Allison. So what I can do is I'll just check in with Allison. Just asking your guides to step forwards. And there's this, like, just immediately for you, Alison, I just see this. Thank you, Teresa. Yeah, please do work on connecting, and don't ever let your doubt get in the way. None of us ever would have started any of this work, right? We'd all have stopped if we just doubted ourselves. So yeah, anything that comes through for you, tickles, twinges, the sense that someone's near you, signs of numbers and feathers, like, or a dog barking outside, or the wind increasing, like all these things, everything happens for you. It happens for a reason. So yeah, allow these connections and messages to surprise you in the way that they are manifested. And sorry, back to Alison. I was seeing a path for you, Alison, and this path is a path that you've created, like is a creation through your, like, navigating through your life, and then also through your own personal healing and ascension. And I was just being shown, like, yeah, this is great. Like, the work we're doing together is fantastic. That you've already created that path. Like, you're setting out that path yourself. So congratulating you on this. And it's the little things as well, right? The things that you're doing during the day, like building up the practice of self-love, the practice of like conscious consumption, whether it's food or drink or what you're consuming on the internet. And I'd just like to do a quick scan through you as you ask for this from the highest dimension of source, bringing down column of golden light. Set intention to clear and to heal Alison. And I would describe this really beautiful connection between your chakras is growing. And so each of the chakras has like this, what was a relatively thin golden light connection between each of them. Each of your chakras now is like that's strengthened. It's flexible. Like I feel like you can like move your body around and it feels quite light and it feels clear and feels strong. Okay. So the path that I was describing earlier, it's there's multiple dimensions to it. And so it is, when I was shown it as more like a journey, like across a map, it also is referring to this journey of this increasing growth and connection between your chakras, this strong golden energy between each chakra. And I'm just scanning down through each of them. And just on the solar plexus, just encouraging it to continue to grow to its natural size and shape. It's almost there. It feels like about 20% to go. So just encouraging that continued path, continued growth. And your solar plexus feels strong. It's like it's like saying to me, yeah, I'm stronger than I ever was, and there's this growth. And how fantastic is that? Like here we are in the solstice, and the sun we're celebrating, it's standing, and you're going through this this new dawn of your solar plexus and this energy within inside of you. And checking down to the other chakras. Yeah, that all looks good. And just encouraging a connection from the roots into Mother Earth. Good. Okay, I hope that helps, Alison. Thank you for asking. And hello to everyone that's joined. I'm just checking back to catch up on all your kind comments. Lots of hellos to each other. Please keep saying hello. I love it. I love it when you all say hello and welcome each other. Miko says, happy solstice to all. My first time here and the energy is so beautiful. Thank you so much and welcome. That makes, I'm sure many of us so happy. And lots of people saying hi to you. It's fantastic. Hypnisty, hello. Thank you for coming. And thank you from Alison. No, thank you, Alison. It's an honor. Okay, so how far did we get? We got down to Alison. So we did Viviane. We did Teresa and Alison. Hypnisty would like a reading if possible. I'd appreciate a reading if possible. Thank you. And you've got like the emojis like it's like peace, and then one of my favorites, the heart, and then the star. And it was quite funny when I first saw the heart symbol like this. It reminded me of a letter, like of a love letter. So let's connect in and see what happens. Hypnisty. And yeah, if you're asking for a reading or clearing or healing, just please put it in all caps so I can see easily. Thank you. Okay, Hypnisty, just asking your guides to step forwards. It's quite funny as I'm asking to connect in with you, Hypnisty. Like it's like your higher self is like and your light body itself, it's like you're kind of dancing around a bit, like you're trying to you're playing hide and seek. Um, doesn't feel negative. It feels like it's quite fun, and I just wanted to, I guess, thank you for and that entertaining, energetic action. And you're saying to me, you're saying this is like my garden. The You call the like the astral realms, the energetic realms, your garden like is a play area for you. So just asking your higher self and your guides just to step forwards a bit further, come a bit closer. And what reading can we assist you with at this time? That's lovely, Hypnosis. You said I feel very connected with crystals. It's really funny. Your higher self is doing this hypnosis. Like it's like you're just showing me your body and asking what do you do with this? What do you do with the human body, with your human form? So this is like the highest aspect of you asking this kind of rhetorical question about how best to deal with the human form on your journey. And there's this message of you, like, it's like you're being asked to stand still for a moment, like physically to allow yourself to be connected with the highest aspects of you, and also with your like you mentioned crystals. I was just seeing you, like, I see you like lying down in a garden, like you're on your back on the grass, and you've got your arms stretched out wide, and your feet, so you're kind of like in a star shape, and you're lying down, and you're just allowing your mind to clear, like you're connecting in with nature around you, and you're allowing these sensations. It feels like quite a lot of like tickles and sensations that go on for you quite a lot, almost like little sparks and fireworks. And I'm seeing you like holding a crystal and practicing like connecting with it. And what your higher self is saying, that they'd really appreciate you to make space in your life, like make capacity for yourself to receive more, of this magic and integration. And so, for example, you could start with a short meditation, perhaps something like 5 minutes. You could be sitting inside, or you could be lying down on your bed, or you could be outside if you have a garden or yard. And you could be lying down. So once you create that that clearing in your mind, there's not like a specific meditation. I mean, I was shown two. One is for you connecting in with your breath and your heart. There's one called the body scan, which is like a well-known mindfulness meditation. That's very good at connecting you with your body, and it like helps you breathe all the way from like your fingertips and your toes. So brings a lot of focus and attention to all aspects of you. So you could try that. And then there's also the let me just ask, what was the more advanced meditation? Oh, just for, so I have one. It's the very first in my 14-day spirit guide meditation challenge, which is free. That first meditation is called like connecting with Source and Gaia, and I think it's one of the shortest. So you can connect with that, and that's also great for just bringing yourself into alignment and clearing enough space in your heart and in your mind to receive. Okay, and then once you've done that, so I'm hearing once you've done that, you can do your work. So it's like a little meditation ceremony before you start, with the intention of what you want to receive. So you could be receiving guidance from guides, asking them to step forward and talk to you. I also see you lying on your back, and you're holding one of your lovely crystals, and you're holding it in your hand, and you're asking to connect with it. And you can ask it any question, right? You can ask where it's from, where was it born, where did it grow from, who's owned it in its or touched it in its lifetime, what is its purpose, what is its superpowers. Like, there's just a whole long list of questions you can ask a crystal, and I feel like you could do that yourself, but you're being asked to really focus on clearing the body, and allowing your mind to have capacity to bring in these very sensitive, very light signals. And to finish, that's why I'm being brought back to this symbol, which I thought looked a bit like a love letter. And this is because I often see communication with my guides as being like little love letters. So they're little messages, like in words, that are written in a letter, and then they're in put into an envelope, and the envelope itself is energy. So it is emotions. It can be encoded with like light codes and even things like DNA upgrades, and it's all like one little package, and it's sent down from a higher dimension. So just like when we see light going through a prism and going into a prism and bending, because light bends through dimensions also, that energy that's coming into you becomes fainter and fainter. And so by the time it arrives at us, it's very, very quiet. And so the greater the space you create yourself, the easier it is to receive those little letters of love from our guides, and also anything else you're communicating with. So I hope that helps, Hypnosty. Thank you so much for requesting. Let me know in the comments if that resonates, or what parts of it resonate. Lots of people joining. Thank you so much. I'll say a few hellos. Apologies if I've missed people, but trying my best. Teresa Ford, thank you for coming. Nikita, or sorry, N Kita. Liz in awe. Neil Mitra. Thank you, everyone, for coming along, and thank you for your kind, lovely chats. And special thanks to Viviana. You're like my my manager. It's fantastic. You're doing some great work, and reminding people to post in all caps, and like and subscribe. Do the human things. That's a huge help. Okay, time for a couple more. So how far did we get? We got to Hypnosty. Let me just see. Hypnosty was a reading. We've done, Teresa Ford. So I did Teresa, but not, am I pronouncing your name right? It's spelled Teresa. As you can see, I'm not amazing with name pronunciation. It's one of my superpowers. But yeah, you would be next. It's a silent H. Fantastic. But you are two different people, and that's important. So that's good. Okay. So yeah, I can do you, Teresa Ford. And let me just be clear what you asked for. You asked for, I'm not good at scanning back up and down. Thank you for your patience in waiting. Mate. I can't find you again. Healing, please. Okay, healing, please. And you said you're open to whatever you think's best. Okay, let's do a healing. Teresa forward. Just asking your guides, your higher self to step forwards. Immediately, there's this really strong energy coming from you. Like my left hand is just receiving this like big burst of energy from around you. It's a very loving energy. And it's important that you know this, that you know that it's a celebration of your love, and the work you do on yourself. Like, it takes a lot to radiate out this amount of energy. It's very open, very loving, and very powerful. And I'm hearing that it's like love always on for you. Like you've always got this energy flowing out of you. And so I'm asking, like, can I step into this energy? You've asked for healing, so I need to come really right inside of this bubble of love energy that you have, because right now I can't see through it. Oh, fascinating. So this bubble of love energy that sits around you. Now, it might have been that if you've joined the start of today's session and you set up your own bubble, that you did it very effectively, or that it also reinforced what you already naturally have there. It's really fascinating. It reminds me, I'm being shown, I don't know if I can make this shape with my hands, but so imagine with your incredible imagination that this is a jellyfish, and you know how jellyfish they kind of do this when they swim, they kind of burst out, they like swim forwards like this. This is what your this bubble of love energy that's flowing around you is also doing. But when it's going like this, it's like it's pushing love energy out, and then you also suck it in again. And there's this kind of like a flow of waves to this. And that was shown to me when you started saying, yes, you're open for me to step in. And now that you've allowed me in, this very strong message is that if for the people that you love, you bring them into to this really beautiful close bubble of yours, and you're very protective of them. And then for people that you've maybe not met, or maybe you don't love, or even that you have negative feelings towards, they'll still see this like very loving energy outside of you. And there's no like conclusion or judgment, just that this just is. I feel in part that it is to be celebrated, that's a really beautiful gift. And I honor this in you and all around you. And your higher self, who's kind of sat back a little bit, observing this, is drawing your attention to sometimes there's patterns of some people come close to you, and it's like they're neither in or out of this golden bubble. And for the times that they're not in, that they feel that they're a bit blind to what's going on inside. And it's because the love energy is very strong from you. So love energy, I use it as a protective barrier. And so love can be a barrier. And it's funny to think of it in those terms, but it is true, and it's entirely possible. So just bringing your awareness to this. And sometimes I practice a softening of love. So especially when I want to like amp up my sensitivity, I will just lighten still have a strong boundary around myself, but I'll just lighten it so that I'm not causing too much of a barrier between myself and others. And is there a healing that we can provide you with at this time? And it's on your heart, being drawn to your heart chakra, and being asked to, like, you have this really strong heart chakra. Like, I just see this, I keep seeing visions of either jellyfish, or sometimes it's interchangeable with like an octopus. And this pulsing of energy that you have requires a very strong heart chakra, but also it can be tiring. So your heart chakra can run like marathon after marathon after marathon, but it still gets tired sometimes. And I'm seeing it at nighttime in particular, just before you go to sleep. It's like you wrap this, you wrap your strong protective love around you, your loved ones, your home, and that you carry them. You're carrying all of this, this protection through your sleep, so that it's like you're physically picking everything up and holding it with you, and like kind of going through your dreams, making sure they're all protected. Thank you, Lynn, sending love. Okay. I'm just going to take a look at your heart chakra. Just bring in source energy from the highest dimension above into your heart chakra. Yeah, and just bringing the softening energy and allowing what will be. You have strong boundaries. You're well practiced at this. You have very strong hearts. And your heart is asking for rest. Like your heart chakra is saying, please, like, give me rest during the night, so that you're not like always on in this protective mode. Just bringing, this is entirely your choice. You get to choose what you do. And I'm hearing you like lying on your, when you're lying in bed at night, just before you go to sleep, you place your right hand on your heart, onto your heart chakra, and you say, heart, you can rest with me. And that's your choice. You get to choose if that's what you want to do. And it just allows your heart chakra to not be pushing and pulling so hard. So just sending in some softening, healing energy into your heart chakra. Maratinio toru motokono rumua rayamau ramyana, and allowing your other chakras to also take the weight, to take the burden, in particular your lower chakras. Arise, and allowing those flames tickling up from your solar plexus and from your sacral chakra. Good. Wow, you actually sleep with your hand there. Well, that's beautiful, Teresa. It's funny, I sleep with my hand on my solar plexus. And so does my older brother. It's the funniest thing to watch. Wow. Well, I hope that helps. And what a really beautiful energy you have. So thank you. Okay, I think we have time for one more. So let's see. And just sharing some of the chats. It doesn't always appear in the replays. Laurie says to hello, Liz, in awe. I am still holding space for your healing processes. You're so loved. That's so beautiful. And Todd says, first time, hello, I'm open to your light. That's kind, Todd. Thank you. And Laurie says, oh, Teresa, Ford, I love the softening for you, divine timing for you to receive this healing. And he says, I alternate between the solar plexus, heart, and self-hug. Oh, that's so lovely. Oh, you guys, such beautiful love. Thank you. Okay, so we made it to Teresa Ford. Who was next? as I expected. I find it's quite funny. Like I find my eyesight gets blurrier the more work I do, which either means I need glasses or a break or both. And I'm just trying to find. Oh, let me scan down from the top. That'd be easiest. So did Allison and Hypnosty, and then Teresa, and then Pat says again, and then Hypnosty says, Jon, your energy is so comforting. Aw, thanks for being you. That's so kind. Thank you. Keeping going. Rishi, I would appreciate a reading, please. Thanks a lot. Are you still with us, Rishi? That sounds like you're alive or dead. I mean, are you still in the chat? Of course, we can still do these for people that are alive or dead, but it's harder to type. Still here, fantastic. Okay. So just asking Rishi, step forwards, your higher self and your guides. So I can't remember what you asked for, forgive me, but I'm just being drawn to a reading. And there's a lot of excitement as you step forwards to me, and there's a lot of pride in yourself, which so celebrating that within you. And you're showing me, it's like you're like just giving a glimpse of this kind of tantalizing wisdom that you have, but also that your guides have. And I'm hearing missing history, like missing what we would consider especially in the Western cultures. I'm seeing that you and your guides know about the missing links between different civilizations, and some completely lost civilizations that we're just not aware of. Like even if you spend years on YouTube trying to find research all about lost civilizations, like they're not even there. They're like actual lost, except you know where they are, and you know about these places. And and this is really exciting. You perceive them, lost civilizations, as being like they're not lost. They themselves are still going. So I'm both not being told, but also being told that I'm not allowed to say the names of these civilizations. But we can talk about a couple that we all know about, or with a little bit of research, you'll find them quickly. So Atlantis and Lemuria are two examples I was shown. And so for you, like Atlantis and Lemuria are these, they're close to 5th and 6th dimension civilizations. And they exist in parallel to, like, overlaid on top of the 3rd dimension of planet Earth. And I visualize them as being just a bit higher up, like just above the sea or the ground. And it's true that these civilizations were destroyed. They were lost in the 3rd dimension. But if you watch a space rocket launching, if you look at the bottom of it, it looks like a big explosion, and then the whole thing disappears, right? But when you look at the top of it, it's actually rising up into space. And that's like the dimensional split that happens. So if you couldn't see the top of the rocket because it was in a higher dimension, it would like disappear to you. And you'd be like, oh, well, that rocket just exploded. I don't know what happened to it. It's a mystery. And then if you're in the higher dimension only, you'd be like, oh yeah, there was some groundwork that happened and some sort of big explosion in the lower dimension. But here we are in space, like we're flying up. So yeah, that's really fantastic to acknowledge. And you hold these, I was going to call them keys, but they're more than keys. You hold these links, between the linkages between these different civilizations. and your guides will help show you where they are. I'm just like super fascinated, like how is this possible? How can you do this? It's really appealing to like the kind of truther geek within me. And I'm hearing it's like you're following a thread. You don't know where the thread runs to. It's just the term "a lost civilization" is enough to like to pull you towards it. And that between you and your guides, you have weaved these threads that look like threads of light, and they run between these different. Oh, Rishi can see interdimensional societies. Fantastic. Woohoo! Yeah, the threads are weaved by you and your guides. Like you've done this through previous lives, or it's not just previous, right? It's like parallel and future. I'm hearing you like space and time weavers is like one of your superpowers, and the threads are intentionally thin so that they are difficult to detect. They don't allow much or almost no communication through it. I'm being shown like telegrams. Like they used to have like these little notes that you could send like over long distance cable communication. Faster than you could on like telephones or trains or pigeons or whatever was used in the past for communication. So it's a limited amount of communication, but it's enough to share perhaps the name of the place, what it's connected to, and then some coordinates like space-time coordinates. They're like fourth, fifth, like, and the number of coordinates increases with the dimension. So one of the coordinates is a dimension itself. And I'm just asking, like, what can you do with all this? I hear that it's there's this really beautiful fun and exploration you can have, like the Indiana Jones of being able to find connections, and you just set the intention to start with one lost civilization or lost civilization, like lost to us. Find the thread for it and then begin to pull on it. And as you pull on it, it starts to weave through. I often call it like a galactic kind of detective work. So you'll be shown clues, and it's extra hard for you because you're not sure what it is that you're seeking, that you're going to find. A bit like Neo in the Matrix, he didn't know what it was, but he knew it was there. Or like many of us through our awakenings, like there's something there, but I don't know what it is. So yeah, just setting that intention to find that lost civilization, and it's like you just go through clue after clue, and allowing yourself to, across many dimensions, just allow yourselves to open up and be open to the communication. Ask your guides for help on the journey. If this is something that excites you, then like it's a whole series of YouTube videos or movies or whatever you decide to share, or keep it all to yourself. And let's face it, if one person knows where it is, then it's not lost anymore. It's just secret. So thank you, Rishi, for that. That was really magical. And Laurie was saying in the chat, Laurie, she says, I put you in our healing circle every morning. It's like Terry told us, we're always connected. I call in 33 trillion angels. So that means George shows up. Liz in awe. Oh, that's really beautiful. Miko's asking for a reading as well. Teresa says, sort of seeing into a black hole that no one else can see into. So interesting. Yeah. and Risha says, cool. Thanks. That was fascinating. It absolutely is. It's like the most interesting thing ever. That's so exciting. And Miko, yeah, I don't know. I can do one more, but I don't know if it's you. I literally don't know until I get back to the list. Just so we treat everyone fairly. So scrolled up to the top and we got down to Rishi, didn't we? And Rishi says, I appreciate a reading. That was handy because that's what I gave you. Oh, and the next is Liz in Awe. Is Liz in Awe still with us? Still in the chat, I mean. It says, may I have a reading, please? Huge and surprising crisis and cost. Thank you for any consideration. Liz in Awe, are you still in the chat? Let's get my coffee. I'll just wait for Liz in Awe to say hello. I think there's actually a delay between the live stream and what shows up in the chat. So, of course, I don't mind waiting. And I'm just going to make sure I disconnect my energy from the previous readings. Okay, that looks good. Liz in Awe, are you there? And if we're not doing Liz in Awe, we did Allison. We did Hypnosty. Okay, well, Miko's next. And I know you're asking again very patiently, Miko. So I'll do Miko, and then if Liz, if you're listening and you're still here, then please just say hello. I'd rather do it while you were here, and if not, please come along to next week. And I wish you all the best with your challenges in your life at this time. Okay, so Miko, welcome. And you've said you'd like a reading. Okay, let's do a reading. And hello to Gypsy JJ. And as I asked Miko to step forwards, as well as your guides, there's this like grand entrance you have. It's like a ta-da. And it's funny, you showed yourself, Miko, as like your inner child first, quite small, like about the age of 6. And then you stood, it's like if you could be a child one moment and then stand up to like adult height, and then you're like the full you. And this is symbolic of your where you are in your journey, and in your own, each of us have our own unique ascension journeys. And I love it because it's you're remembering your yes, Gypsy JJ, it's a regular meeting. Every Thursday we'll be doing this, except when I'm on vacation in a couple of weeks' time. But other than that, we'll always be doing this. So yeah, please come along, same time, same channel. Yeah, for Miko, like I was seeing you're saying to me that through your ascension journey, you never want to forget that inner child of you, and you're showing how proud you are. Like you're holding space for all these versions of you. So let's say you started like your awakening, your ascension at this level. Then even by the time you've stepped up and done all the hard work and continue to raise your vibration, instead of all of you being at like one vibration, you're allowing yourself to hold space for almost like little bubbles around each frequency step. Like you're holding space in parallel for these to exist. And what's beautiful is that you get to remember, and it's hard, right? Just like when it's hard to look back when we're children without taking the adult version of us, like our adult mind, and place that on the child version of us, and go, well, why didn't I just shout back at the other kid? Or why didn't I just, stand up for myself? Because that's what the adult or this now moment version of us would have done. But that's not the version of us that existed back then. And so you're able to hold space for each of these parts of you, which is really beautiful. And just stepping forwards to see if there's a reading, what messages we have for Miko at this time will help her the most on her journey. And one of your guides is stepping forwards. There's this really blue, it's like a light blue, like turquoise light. It's a turtle shell. And it glows. It's like almost like to us, it looked like a rainbow, a blue rainbow that goes over like a halo over the back of this turtle. And this your turtle guide. And the first thing they said is, as I was describing how you hold space for these beautiful aspects of yourself, like being able to hold your inner child so beautifully. Your guide said, wouldn't it be great if like Miko could teach everyone to do that? Like that would be really cool. Because it's a real gift. And does your guide have any other messages? So that the first question for you is, Miko, is like, did you know that that you can do this, that this is a gift, that not everyone can do this, or not everyone has tried to look at their own like layers of themselves and try to hold them, each of those layers, each of those frequencies in like this love energy, in holding space for them. And what does it mean for Miko? How can this help her in her life this time? I'm hearing like to dance and to celebrate, to enjoy all aspects of your journey to now. Okay. And there's a very magical gift you have that comes with this that I didn't realize you have. This doesn't just apply to your past. It doesn't just apply to the lower vibrations of you. It applies to the higher aspects of you, the future versions of you also. And what does this mean? Oh, that's really fascinating. So I don't know if you did this when you were a kid. This what we used to do was, as we were growing, we would draw a little line next to like the door frame on the wall, and would date it, and we'd say, this was my this was Jon Binnie, age 7, and you'd have a little line and sometimes the height. And the cool thing is that you can do this yourself, like through the past. And it's quite funny. Like I see you doing it, like actually drawing, like guessing the approximate height of yourself at different ages. And then as an adult, you can like go up to that height and for instance, kneel at it or sit down or even lie down if you have to get your head to that height. And I see you like sitting against a wall and then like going into like a short meditation and like just place your hand on your heart and asking yourself to connect in with that space and time and frequency of you. So if it was something like age 6, you would say, you'd find the height for age 6. You'd sit in that position that brought your head height to about the height of you when you were 6. And it doesn't need to be exact. It's more about the intention than it is about the exact measurement of height. Okay. And then, so that's really cool. And you can like go there. You could ask yourself what healing you needed at that time. One thing I would love to be able to ask my inner child would be like, what are the passions that I'd love to do? And yeah, it has been wild. Yeah. I feel, so Miko's saying, I had no idea. I feel like I've been thrust into space and all these different energies and can feel has been wild. Energies I can feel has been wild. It's funny how I struggle to say that. Yeah, that's I definitely sense that from you. So there's this cool thing you can do where you can draw higher. So imagine in the future that you continue to grow in height. Now, you don't need to worry too much about whether you are actually physically growing in height, because what also happens is your frequency allows you to rise, to lift, to physically lift. So imagine it, perhaps a useful way of imagining it as a human today, in our current understanding of the laws of physics, is to see yourself as like floating above the ground. And there is a measurement. What is the measurement that you can use? What's the scale that you can use? For every year of ascension, add another centimeter. There we go. How cool is that? So yeah, just go up to the wall. I never heard of any of this, so this is so cool. I feel like I want to try it. And so you could take your current height, mark with a pencil against the wall, and then you could take a ruler, add another centimeter, draw a line, go back against the wall, and then maybe stand on something like a book that's about a centimeter higher, something small that's higher, and it lifts you up that 1 centimeter or so. And it doesn't need to be exact. It's just that when, like, clearly having your sight, what that looks like, that the line, the height, and you could also write on it. You could say, Miko, now plus 1 year. And when you turn around and you put your back against the wall, just say to yourself, set the intention of what you want to communicate. So, for example, you're saying like, it's a really wild ride. And sometimes what helps us on a wild ride is looking forwards to, what happens at the end, perhaps of this roller coaster that you're currently on, or what happens, on your journey. And so, yeah, and those Miko magic moments, you can just connect in with yourself and ask a question. So you could ask, if it were me a year ago, I would have asked, have I left my corporate job yet? Good news, John, you left. I did it. Woo! And now I do this for a job, and it's much more fun. And it was a really wild ride. So yeah, you can ask yourself like just simple things like, what are you doing? What do you do for work? What do you do for your hobbies? And this feels like a really cool hobby. And yeah, again, it feels a bit like Rishi, like many of us, it feels like you could be making an entire movie series out of this, even just journaling it yourself, writing it down, the experiences. You just ask yourself the question, what am I doing in a year's time? And then finally, you could have a think about doing one quite far on. So you could say 30 centimeters. Now, I don't know what age you are now. Do bear in mind, I don't know if this is good news for you or bad news for you, but as you're going through the ascension journey, it is more likely that you will live a lot longer and continue to transcend this physical form and still be like your kind of human self. But, as we become crystalline in particular, and we go through that transition over the coming years, we will transition into beings that like kind of never really die, certainly go on for hundreds of years. So don't be afraid to put in hundreds of years ahead. It's entirely up to you. Just know that sometimes it's a different lifetime if you've reincarnated. I'm not sure if I'm buffering or not, but my laptop is telling me that it's struggling a bit. But I think I'm okay looking at my phone. So yeah, there was a couple of comments. Yeah, love it. Hypnosty says like a growth chart for ascending. Yeah, that's really cool. I never really thought of that. I did keep seeing like linear time, but I've never seen like a growth chart. And Teresa said maybe it's a chapter name in your book when you figure out how to teach the rest of us your healing magic. Great idea, Hypnosty. Miko. Oh, wow. Woohoo. So yeah, I'm so glad we managed to squeeze that in, because it definitely feels like it's an important journey to share. Thank you. So I'm just stepping back. Okay, thank you very much. And did we hear back from our friend Liz in Awe? I don't think she's appeared again, so I won't go ahead with a reading. We'll pick up her in next week. So yeah, all there's left to say is thank you so much for coming along today. If you're interested, please join my Higher Self Foundational training, where pretty much all the stuff we teach. I say we, me and my guides, and your guides to you. And if you think that being able to talk to your spirit guides, to be able to connect with your higher self, doing energy healing, clearing, protection, astral travel, and speaking light language, these are just some of the things, some of the older things that I've been doing today, you'll learn how to do. And so it'd be my honor to teach you. If you're interested, visit jonbinnie.com. You'll find your way to meditations and training. And there's also like a little carousel that flips through on the homepage, which you can watch in awe at all the incredible stuff I'm creating, and whether or not it resonates with you. And yeah, thank you so much, everyone. And I just wanted to say before we finish, I'm amazed at how loving you all are and how supportive you all are. And it really fills my heart with such joy. And if I ever questioned why I left my corporate career to do this work, like I can never question in the presence of you, such beautiful souls. And you're so incredibly supportive. And I know you're all incredibly gifted, which is why it's such an honor to serve you. So thank you, and take care, everyone. Sending so much love from Scotland, and I'll see you next week. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye. Love you. Bye.